Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about a decision that has been made. I'm probably doing a reading for the person that made the decision. This is basically like a temptation, right? I feel like we have chemistry. I feel like we're attracted to each other, but maybe we are better off as friends. With the Ace of Cups in the reverse and the Four of Wands in the reverse, it's like, I don't really necessarily see a future. I don't know that we could be in like a long-term relationship. It would pretty inevitably be one of those kind of like situationships or like a short-term thing. And it could also ruin this friendship, or if it's a coworker, it could make things awkward, right? There's this hesitation, even though you know that you're tempted. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you have some nice weather. If you are interested in a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below, wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. We're going to start with the Golden Lenormand. What else do we have? So we have number 20, the Garden, and number 16, the Stars. Yeah, there's somebody that has like a crush. It could be you also have a little bit of a crush, but because of the Garden, we know it's somebody in your social community. So you've known this person, right? We've been friends or we work together. We don't really know what would happen if we kind of like pursued something. But with this tree, there's a mental strength or a courage, right? If this is something that would be maybe regretted down the line, then I need to really think about it. This is self-control. Yes, I might be tempted. I might find you really attractive, but I feel like if it's not going to go anywhere, then it might not be a very good choice. So with the 32, the Moon card, we've got an understanding that things could go down a kind of concerning path, or maybe I would even lose this friendship if I pursue you that way. Hello, Kingly Eagle. How are you doing? So we're going to dive in with the Beginner's Tarot. What else do we have? I think we might see the Knight of Cups because of kind of like the crush element, but if it's really just about the attraction, like the physical, then it might just be the Knight of Wands. What else do we have? King of Cups, Four of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So you are the King of Cups, and you do have a pretty good sense of who you are, what you want, how to approach your emotions, how to approach other people. You're nobody's fool, especially where it concerns romance or dating. I feel like you have gone through similar situations like this, and you've already learned that lesson. So you've got this Four of Cups next to you because you feel like, well, it might be fun. We might, enjoy whatever, but like long term, I feel like there will be issues. And I want to focus on making decisions that are taking into consideration the long-term goals that I have or the long-term effects, right? So I'm not willing to just live in the moment and disregard what kind of consequences there would be if I pursued something romantic or physical with a friend. Six of Cups, Eight of Wands in the reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles. So even though I have good memories with you or there's a temptation, I feel like it's best for me to think before I act. This Eight of Wands in the reverse is let's not like rush into something that's going to be regretted, right? Especially if there's like a situation where you're maybe intoxicated or especially vulnerable emotionally. These are times where you really want to make sure you're not just seeking attention instead of feeling an actual connection. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I think you might be looking to focus on work instead of getting distracted by side missions or situationships. So we have the Page of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, I think I just have to be honest with you and say, even though I'm attracted, I don't think it would be a good idea to risk our friendship and pursue something that I think we both know is not going to go too far. We gotta consider whether or not we're willing to risk the friendship. And I don't know if this person is going to be very happy about the fact that you're, spitting truth. They, I think, will agree with you in terms of the potential for problems, or that there isn't really a long-term relationship in the making, but they don't necessarily have the same self-control. Hello, Realm of Bedlam. How are you doing? I'll see. We have the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Well, I would have appreciated seeing it in the upright, but I understand. When it's in the reverse, that can be a little bit more about like a hurried decision, right? I'm just thinking about the short term and how fun it would be to, and not necessarily considering the fact that long term, I might regret this choice, or we might get into an argument. It could cause some drama at work. I don't want to think about all of the things that could be problematic. I just want to think about how fun it would be to like be with you, right? This is you having to basically encourage someone to like think about it again. Like if you really do, pursue something, there's going to be some issues, because I don't really want to be with someone who's not thinking about the long term. With the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like, I feel like we would argue, someone will get jealous, because this isn't going to be a relationship. This is physical, right? Knight of Wands in the reverse. So I'm proud of you and your self-control, but don't expect everyone else to have that same level of self-control. They're going to feel like you're a little bit crazy. Hello, Bachitata. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. This is the Morgan Greer. 2 of Wands, Ace of Swords in the reverse, and 3 of Cups in the reverse. The thing is, they really don't have the same self-control. They still want to find a way to hang out without clothes. They're thirsty, okay? There is a possibility that they will come back to your rejection with some sort of rebuff that you don't believe. What do you mean? I don't know. Let's see where it goes. Maybe we could get into a relationship. Never say never. No, because if this person did pursue a relationship with you, I will tell you right now, the likelihood of their being loyal to you is slim to none. And I don't want you hanging your hopes on a lie when your intuition is telling you, this person's not really relationship material. Maybe they need some time to heal. Maybe they will be eventually. But like now, no. 3 Cups in the reverse. And I feel like you know that. Queen of Swords, Hanged Man, and the Moon. You know that even though you haven't gone there, even though you haven't dated this person before, because you've been their friends, because you were observant, or because you have strong intuition, you know where this would go or how it would go. And it would end with some jealousy or some sort of argument, right? And your comment is, I don't want to do that. Why ruin a good thing? Let's just chill. Knight of Swords in the reverse, 7 of Cups, and the Fool. The thing is, I feel like this person is jealous, or they will be. When you say that you don't feel like there's a long future, or you don't feel like there's a lot of, likelihood that you would end up in a relationship, it makes them become that much more critical of the people that you do spend time with. So if you reject this friend of yours and you had a really, easygoing approach to the friendship before, you may notice that there's a change that, when you do show interest in somebody else, they're more likely to just completely rip them apart, right? Oh, with that hair? Oh, look at what job they have. And look at what car they drive. Like, they're going to look for every little detail that's wrong about other people because they feel like you basically did that to them. Probably also because they don't really want to see you get with other people. Page of Wands in the reverse, Four of Cups, King of Swords in the reverse. I guess what I'm saying is you can't really continue to trust this person's opinion or advice in your romantic life because they are probably going to hold a bit of a grudge or have some resentment because you didn't really take them seriously or because you were a little bit too much of a boss where it concerns your self-control. They're going to want to see you be extra selective with other people because you didn't choose them. This is the Romance Angel Oracle. We have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Ooh, that's just one. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. This is interesting for me because I feel like the very beginning of the reading said that you've already made your decision. And yet we have the clearly decide card. So just going to put a little pressure on you real quick. Have you really decided? Are you on this reading because you're like, oh, I don't know, like it's a 15% chance that I might say yes. Be cautious. And it looks to me like when you have a little bit of space away from this person, maybe you're literally just spending too much time with them. When you have a little bit of space away from them, it makes you realize that maybe there's a reason you felt so confident that this is something that should stay in the friend zone. And yet we have keep an open mind. So somebody who's not your usual type is going to be the one that really like sweeps you off your feet. This is the Pulp Tarot. What else? Eight of Wands in the reverse. King of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. What this person is not being honest with you about is just how much they dislike your answer. I do think that when you say, you know what, I think we should probably just be friends, I think you're going to notice little details that make you realize that they don't like your answer. You're probably going to know they don't like your answer right out the gate, but they're not going to throw like a huge fit when you say this. They're going to try to be stoic or try to be calm, even though I think you may know them well enough to see the little anger bubbling up underneath. This hurts their pride. This is frustrating for them. They see you as like a trophy of sorts. They know that there are a lot of people that are interested in you. They know that when you walk into a room, you get attention, or they feel like maybe there's like a little bit of like bragging rights if they were to actually pursue something with you physically. And yet, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, that doesn't mean I want to like invest in something with you. I'm okay with it just being, you know, a couple of days. I still get the bragging rights if I just had a couple of days. So this is definitely somebody who's thinking about the short term, but their emotions aren't necessarily even keeled. They feel a little bit of anger over being rejected. Like it's not fair. Two of Wands, Knight of Wands. I do think they're going to try to make you jealous. I think if you have a like habit of talking to each other about your dating experiences, it's almost like they want to kind of turn up the volume on that. Hey, this person hit on me, or hey, look at this like conversation I'm having on my dating app. They want you to see that they're sought after. They want you to see that there are people who, you know, want them. Maybe the reason you're not interested in letting go of the friend zone is because you don't realize how many other people really think that I'm attractive. But I don't think that's going to work on you. I don't think, like, that's not your reasoning, right? It's not like, well, maybe if you were more popular, if more people wanted to see you naked, then I would too. But, you know, until then, it's a no for me. No, your whole thing is like, but really though, in like a month or like 6 months, what's going to be like the outcome? How are we going to talk to each other? Are you going to be like angry? Am I going to get angry at you? Like, it's not worth it. They don't seem to be picking up on what the actual reason is for your not wanting to leave the comfort of the friendship zone. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. It's because you know they would not invest or they would not be interested in like a real healthy relationship. So you have these boundaries, you've made this decision, and your friend is not very happy about it. Good morning, Peggy. How's it going? King of Swords. Stick to your guns. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Even if they start getting moody or distant, if you feel like you have to fix what is not broken, think again. This is somebody who is throwing a little pity party or having a bit of a moment because they wanted something that is not their decision. They don't get to decide who you choose, right? And it feels like their reaction is, I think that's awful. That's stupid. I'm obviously really attractive. Look at all these other people that want me. And oh, by the way, all the people that you think are cool are crap. So what do you think now? Huh? Aren't I hotter now? Now that I've disparaged all the people that are interested in you? Mm-hmm. Hello, Laura. How's it going? So don't let them control you. Don't let them make you second guess a decision that you made with like a ton of logic at your back. They are just a little bit pouty because they wanted to be able to brag about you. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like you're just going to have to be cool all on your own. Here's the Kipper. Let's see what else we've got. Distant horizons in the reverse. Unexpected income and imprisonment. Okay. That's interesting. So distant horizons in the reverse is clarifying very soon, which is like noteworthy because it's obviously saying this is like right here. Okay. You have to make the decision soon. So no, back and forth, please, because I feel like your decision impacts another connection. In other words, if you get caught up with this friend and something you didn't really want anyways, you may be distracted when a real partner who has potential and wants to do right by you shows up on the scene. So decide what you want and do not go back and forth on it, right? Even though this person wants to talk you out of it. Aw, that's awesome. Poetry is great. There is, if you've not checked out my second channel, I have not done much with it lately, I have to be honest, but it's linked below in my description box. Curious Carmen ASMR, but I do have some Emily Dickinson that I read on there, and I think you could qualify or classify the Divine Comedy as a poem. And I got through, I don't know, like maybe 1/3 of that before the book got damaged. This unexpected income is clarifying separation, which tells me that when you get a little bit of space from this person who does not want to just be friends, you see all the more clearly, this is the right decision. I don't need to do that, right? And this imprisonment card is not an actual jail cell. It's clarifying, keep an open mind. You may be a little bit too rigid when it comes to who am I physically attracted to? Who do I see a potential future with? What kind of job do they have to have? How much money do they need to make? Be a little bit more flexible with the things that are not deal breakers in terms of what kind of person you could see yourself with. Some of you may be have had a history of only dating people that are older than you, and then you meet somebody that's younger than you, and you're like, no, you're totally immature. I can just smell it on you. But maybe you need to just like give it a minute, right? And see if it's more your pace than you thought. Sudden wealth, number 11. We had that and unexpected income. I love this for you. Family room and thoughts. So clearly decide what it is that you want, and then boom, there you go. You've got it. If this is not what you want, then focus on the other sides of life, right? Don't continue to get dragged into the drama. Some of you may find that this friend is no longer going to be a friend, even if you don't pursue something physical with them. Just the actual request and the like impending fallout causes enough tension for you to realize that this person wasn't necessarily a friend. They were like waiting for their turn. Waiting for a turn to have sex with somebody is, in case anybody is like unclear about it, disrespectful and objectifies a person. You don't have any rights to sleeping with anyone, right? And I feel like that's part of why we have this Queen of Swords kind of getting offended, you know? If I tell you the decision, then let it go. But it doesn't seem to be so easy for their friend. And with the family room, clarifying unexpected income, I feel like the like silver lining here is even if this friendship is no longer a friendship for you, there's going to be a soul tribe or people that understand you coming into your sphere shortly. Because you are this Nine of Pentacles, you're drawing in a lot of attention. And it's not just people that think that you're physically attractive. It's also people that want to potentially be like your friend. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. Thank you, Peggy. So we have beloved, number 24, love, relationships, reciprocity, union, and intertwinement. Yep, I think that means what you think it means. This is saying, look, I'm allowed to have standards, right? You have self-control, they maybe lack it, so it's hard for them to wrap their brain around what your answer really means or why you've chosen that, right? They probably don't care as much about the fallout. It may impact you more, especially if you, let's say you like work together or something, that could be a real big problem, right? So we have Rider, number 12, RIDER, by the way, movement, quick decisions, progress, and excitement. I'm just going to tell you right now, the most important word on this card for you is quick. Make your decision and move on. If this person is not going to be your friend because you have rejected them, then they were never your friend to begin with. If, however, they get over their little whiny bout, then you can be friends, right? But they do not have like a right to you. We've got number 20, time, planning, making decisions, leaving comfort and taking risks. Yeah, I think you're saying, you know what? It could be real easy, because you're easy, to just like fall into that situationship or say, you know what? Like, you're right there. That's cool. Like, at least I know I can kind of like trust you, right? But when you think about the long term, you know that there's a different decision that makes sense for you. I feel like leaving comfort is saying maybe you've been too okay with pulling your romantic interests from the same pool of people. Maybe it's time for you to choose a different path or seek a different type of partner. Blood moon, number 8, illusion, uncertainty, confusion, secrets, egotism, and narcissism. What do you mean you don't want to sleep with me? But like, I'm your hottest friend, right? There might be a bit of an ego problem here. And that doesn't surprise me if they feel a sense of entitlement or like it's my turn. You may be really weirded out by that, but for them, that's maybe their like normal thought process, right? You've, hung out with or slept with or dated these people in our communities. So why not me? they're using some real faulty logic. But, you know, it happens. This is the signs of the times. Yeah, at that point, I don't blame you. It's about how they handle the situation. If they really make a mess out of it, how can you regain that trust? So we have mountains, number 5, obstacles, and personal power, crown, number 28. Some of you may struggle or may have in the past struggled with people's expectations of you, or trying to like manipulate you into thinking this is how it's supposed to go for you, or it's fine, we can still be friends. You are much less susceptible to people manipulating you or encouraging you down a path that you don't feel comfortable with than you were even 6 months ago or 12 months ago. And that's perhaps why this individual feels like they can do a little bit of mental manipulation, or even like kind of playing the victim in a way, and get the outcome that they want, because they've underestimated your sense of empowerment. I have self-control. I know what decision I want to make. I don't feel like there's a future with the two of us in the long term. So, you know, I've made my decision, and they feel like it's still open for discussion. So we have dice, chance, number 19, and number 6, rainbow, hope. So another reference to taking a chance, right? Leaving comfort, taking risks. There's something new out there for you. And by something, I mean someone. So don't feel like you're limited to the same dating pool. There's maybe someone new moving to town, or maybe you're starting a new job, or a friend is going to introduce you to somebody new. But the important thing for you is to feel good about the fact that you have boundaries. You're allowed to have boundaries. And when you make a decision, you're allowed to stick by it. So focus on the things that you do want in your life, and don't get too stressed by people who don't seem to understand somebody who knows what they want. It's a very attractive quality when you know what you want. So don't give up on that. All right. This is the untold messages of the heart. What else do we have? Hello, Johnny. How's it going? You've been thinking about me because I've been thinking about you. We're connecting. They might try some like, how can I use like angel numbers or astrology to try to make you feel like we're actually like meant to be. I do feel like they're going to kind of talk up the kind of 5D or magical side of your connection in an attempt to make you feel like it's more than just something physical. Sadness. I feel like I've lost you and I'm not coping well with it. They may have for a long time been plotting an opportunity to, shoot their shot. And if they had these daydreams about how it's going to go and then you reject them, it could be really difficult for them to kind of update their perspective. We have secrets. I hid something from you and I'm afraid to tell you about it. And I promise you, and the ring. I don't trust this. This could be somebody who's trying to say, you know what? I haven't really been a committed type, but it's okay. I could probably do it now. They may tell you that they would potentially be interested in a relationship. They may even like get into a relationship with you, but I don't see them as being very committal. I've been in my head about you constantly. I think for the majority of you, this is someone trying to figure out why you rejected them. Aren't I what you normally like? Aren't I, like the people that you generally go on dates with? So we've got finances. I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. Remember, we had the 8 of Pentacles at the beginning. This is your energy. I'm not really looking to get distracted by something that could be, a little bit of a sinkhole or something that takes my time away from something important. They're maybe going to get a little bothersome in terms of like being a little bit clingy or asking for more time from you than they normally do. Hello, Andre. Hello, is it Mickey? I think it is. Or Milky? You tell me. That's fair. Oh, that was my stomach. Sorry, guys. I'm hungry. I'm trying to get as much done as I can. So we've got risk. I'm ready to take a leap of faith and risk it all for you. Worry. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I'm overthinking everything. What will everyone else think? So they're going to make some concerted effort here to make it look like they do want a long-term relationship. They do really want, something serious with you, but they're still in that low vibrational energy where they feel like they might have to change their mind if your friend group doesn't like it. If they get some heat over, deciding they want to be in a relationship instead of being single. So this isn't confidence in a long-term connection. It's like, we can try. I'll take the risk, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I've been there. This is What's the News. Sneaky link. Hidden lover. Low-key situationship. Side piece. This is what they want. They don't want all of the responsibility or obligations of a relationship. And your reaction is like, no. Thanks, but no. I don't want that. So they're trying to dress it up as something more than just an interest in you physically. Quick getaway, the runner, and escaping. They're like, wait a second. We can talk about it. We could do more. High vibing, good vibes, living to the fullest and enjoying the present. But you know what you deserve. You're quite aware of what your value is or what you bring to the table. You don't want to just sign up for a sneaky link. You might actually have a lot of work to do right now. So the idea of investing in someone just to be kind of disappointed, especially if it's a friend of yours right now, may not be very interesting to you. Hello, Tamisha. How are you doing? Sipping, nosy, spreading rumors, and gossiping. Didn't we have the gossip card earlier? No, I think it's more so that this person wants bragging rights. Oh yeah, it was the 9 of Pentacles. They want to be able to talk about flirting with you or what it's like to be with you. But they could also be trying to spread information about other people that would be interested in you because they want to look like they're the best option. They want to be like the cream of the crop, but they don't understand that you're traveling to another piece of farming land. There might be something better over there. They feel like you have to choose them for some reason. But they've got this player energy. They're not looking for a relationship. They're going to go above and beyond in a weird way, right? Oh, I bought you this thing of flowers so that I have emotions and stuff. And you're going to be like, flowers does not equate emotions. I mean, we could argue that it equates pentacles because you probably had to buy them, but they're trying to convince you. Yeah, exactly. This is love, but it's not love. It's for personal gain. I want you to think that I have emotions for you or that I'm actually serious about something, but I'm not. I just want what I want. So we have repo, default on payments, financially incapable, and repossessed assets. The thing is, this person is real focused on pursuing you physically when they should be focusing on their work. And I feel like that's one thing that you may have noticed about this person. You have that self-control element, right? So if you need to buckle down and work extra or save some money, you know how to do that. This is somebody who's been a little bit less responsible, and you feel like that probably carries over into the romantic side of their life. And I don't think you're wrong. If I don't think about the consequences long term, then I'm going to be more of the short term kind of person, right? And that's what this is coming through as. All right, so this is the Love Oracle. Hello, Tamo. How are you doing? I'm glad to hear it, Tamisha. Thank you. Releasing, letting go, moving on, walking away, and healing, releasing again, purifying and cleansing. You're on the way up. Things are improving in your life. You see side missions or pieces on the side as a distraction and something that will maybe even set you back in terms of the things you want to achieve or the healing that you're trying to accomplish. So even though I think this person is not expecting you to reject them, I think you know that intuitively it's going to cause issues if you actually pursue that connection. So I don't think there's really anything that can change your mind, but I'm giving you a little heads up that this person's going to do the most to try to change your mind. So we have abandoned, left out, walked away, and cold, and hoping, expecting, faith, and manifesting. The big one here is the expecting word. This is somebody who expected you to say yes or expected you to consider them based on previous history or based on their ego. And they're determined to find a way to get you to reconsider, but not for the right reasons. And it ends up pushing you away in terms of whether or not you really even want to have a friendship with this person. So we had a great friendship. Turns out it wasn't really a friendship. You were just sitting there waiting for your turn, and it's irritating, right? So our King of Cups, whoever you are, you felt like this was a valid friendship and that somebody would respect your boundaries. But if they continue to push you on getting out of the friend zone, they end up creating a lot of like chaos, tension, arguments, and they offend you, right? I can't believe you would date that person, but not me. Look at the blah, 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 blah. You know, like judging you, but they feel like they're judging someone else, right? Hello, Manny. How are you doing? Oh, you're so welcome. Hello, Matt. How's your day? Hello, Renee. I would agree with you on that one. How's it going, Voyager? Apology, forgiveness, return, and sorry. Interestingly, when I see this card, it's less about encouraging someone to apologize and more about telling the King of Cups, you don't have to apologize for not being attracted to somebody. That is not your responsibility. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to screw everything with legs. You don't have to apologize for not being interested in somebody physically. That is not your job. If somebody has some feelings over being rejected because they expected you to say yes, that is their own problem. They owe you an apology. So hopefully they get to that point where they realize that. But if we've got a bit of an ego issue, don't hold your breath, right? They're, I think, trying to make you feel bad, trying to make you feel like you have to apologize for not being interested in something that you know would be a mistake. So they're trying to bank on maybe you feel a little bit guilty. Maybe you feel like you need to make them feel better. No, you don't. If you were my friend in reality, you wouldn't be seeking to make me feel bad for having boundaries or taste. I said what I said. If you know what you want and it ain't that, then like, what else are you supposed to do? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want what you want. No, don't apologize. They owe you an apology. They're trying to play victim when what they're doing is making you feel bad for having your own decisions. So, friend, no. It ends up being that you were initially conflicted on whether or not you were attracted to them or you wanted to pursue something physical with them. And now it's like, now I don't even know if I want to talk to you anymore. Thanks for like ruining it. You jerk. All right, this is the Pause Tarot. I have a feeling we might see the Devil card. We'll see. What else do we have? Ooh, hold on. I gotta watch my battery. It's 10%. Okay. What else do we have? Two of Cups. Peggy's favorite card, right? Isn't that one your favorite? Isn't it cute? Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? I know. I hate having battery that low. It drives me crazy, but I forgot to charge it last night or this morning. Two of Cups, Ten of Wands in the reverse, Five of Swords, and the Hermit in the reverse. Yeah. So the Two of Cups doesn't have to be romantic. This can be about a friendship. And with the Ten of Wands being in the reverse, this is like, my friendship with you is strained, or I feel like it's a burden to be friends with you because you are expecting more, because you're over here looking at me like I'm more than a friend when I didn't say that that's what I was looking for. And as a result, they're trying to find ways to ruin your decision or to discredit your decision. Of course, you should choose me. Look at all of the things that I can do for you. I could take you out on a date. I could buy you some flowers. I could, I don't know, cook you dinner. This is somebody who's trying to look as best as they can while they also are critiquing or like being real rude about anybody else that you might be attracted to, or even people that you've been with in the past. I'm not going to lie. They might go there. Like, what's better about them versus me? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Two of Wands in the reverse. So that's 3 twos if you're keeping track. I made my decision. It's not a good look. I made my decision. I don't want to be with you like that. If you were my friend, you would have respected that. So I don't blame you for getting a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit frustrated. And I'm sorry that someone's putting you in that situation. I'm sure plenty of people will just be like, what? It's great. Somebody thinks you're hot. Isn't that good? No, because like I thought this person was actually my friend, right? So I'm sorry, King of Cups, that you're going through that. Hello, Sky Daddy. How are you doing? What else do we have? Four of Wands. So this also seems to be a warning that there's a new person coming in, or like a new person that you meet that is on your level, okay? This is a high vibrational person that is interested in a long-term relationship and I think is interested in you. If you keep this person around as a friend, despite how they have been disrespectful towards you and your boundaries, there's a chance they're going to try to sabotage what you could have with somebody who is the real deal. So this could be why it's so important for you to make a quick decision. If you are going back and forth between trying to like kind of have this decision or this conversation with your friend, and it muddies the water for this new person that comes in who's serious, you may risk that, you know, beautiful, healthy relationship because this friend can't take no. Star. Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, this is looking pretty clear to me. There's a friend who's interested in being more than friends, but not with the commitment side of things. And you need to clearly decide and communicate that decision to this friend that you don't think that they should pursue that, or that you think you're better off as friends. Because that clear communication, that clear decision prevents you from being stuck either mentally or literally feeling like you can't pursue someone new because this friend might have like a conniption fit. So make that decision so that you're available for the soulmate that's coming in, and so that you don't get distracted or hung up on some drama with someone that you don't see a future with anyway. Just rip that Band-Aid off. Nope, I don't see it with you. I don't want that with you. And if that's all you can think about, then I don't want friendship with you either. All right, I'm going to leave it there in case my computer dies. I love you all. Tomorrow is going to be primarily, or maybe exclusively, the live premiere, so I won't be able to say hi to you in the live chat like this, but I will try to be actually in the live chat with you. So if you don't mind, do me a solid and like those videos and this one. And I hope to see you on the next live stream. I love you all. Toodles. It won't let me end it.